70s and 80s they were here a lot. It's been a dozen years since they were last here. They kick off. Gavin Henson kicks off. Bristol kick off. What an adventure. What lies in store for them over the next 8-9 months. Tim Visser gathering the kick-off initially, and now Chris Robshaw, unburdened by the England captaincy last season.
Use it, Quins!
He seemed a man renewed, a man refreshed. And Bristol in the gold shirts working hard. That counter up to win it back. But them working a little bit too hard. Lines that earned Hurrell his tries against Bristol in the championship final. Henson linking up again neatly with Peacey. They've started well together, and this is Wallace, and here goes Ryan Edwards, Academy graduate. First taste of the Premiership in the absence of the injured David Lemmy today. Lemmy being held up by a knee injury.
Bristol, use it!
Time to get on with it, and they do. Another man with Premiership experience, another debutant, John Fisher, former Northampton back rower. Quins have won that back at the collision.
Quins, use it! Advantage over.
Looked away by the captain, Kerr. It's not exactly part of his plan when he left Wasps a year ago, but he enjoyed the experience, and now he's back to the business of accumulating Premiership tries. Henson, again, acrobatically stays in the field of play. This is Phillips. Room for Ian Evans today. Grand Slam winner, the Welshman, Ian Evans. There's Lamb again, the captain. Henson, and now there's some room, and this is Wallace, and he had Edwards to the right, and they're asking questions there, stretching Quins to the left and then to the right. Defensive head honcho this season, conceded 66 tries last year. Only London Irish and Worcester conceded more. They're being tested here early on by the new boys. It's intercepted, and Varndale, who's had 12 months not scoring Premiership tries, moves one closer to Cueto's record.
One of the best readers of the long pass in the game. He must have scored at least 20 tries from intercepts. Absolutely brilliant read. Danny Kerr does incredibly well, and he gets right on the front foot, but then this guy just picks the pass so early, and you're not catching him, not even if you're on a motorbike. If he takes that ball at full speed, there's nobody in the world catching that guy.
Well, look away, Danny Kerr. I think the pass was even forward. It helps Varndale out. As you said, just so sharp at reading that.
My goodness, they needed that. Through the raindrops, 3 points off the boot of Nick Evans. It's been charged down by Ben Glynn. That will mean more to him than most in this Bristol team. One of those who came through the academy, and here's Cliff.
Danny Kerr just appealing to Luke Pearce that he was played as the scrum half. We saw Wayne Barnes giving a lot of penalties away for similar offences yesterday. Nothing doing with Pearce though.
Fisher. He waits, looking over his right shoulder to see where Henson is, but it's not his ball to play with. It's Harlequins, and Evans into the space behind the fullback Wallace. To the other fullback, Josh Chisholm. A couple of tries here in that extraordinary game against Gloucester last Christmas. The best of kicks. And the bounce to Cliff. And here goes Peacey, and he's gone through the hole, and Peacey will have a sprint for the line, and there's nothing Yard can do about it. These are dreamy, dreamy days for Bristol, back in the Premiership and scoring tries.
Just wondered whether Cliff, as he'd stepped, saw Peacey had to really jam on the brakes. Was it forward? It doesn't matter. We know the referees are being a lot more lenient, and they want the benefit of the doubt to go to the attacking side, but lovely skip out of the tackle
He's taken no time at all to settle him. Likewise, Bristol, another 2 points off the boot of Henson. They've got 14 points, not played half an hour yet. A couple of minutes of what's been a challenging first half so far for Harlequins, but an opportunity here to at least end it on the up. Tooney gathering the ball. Sinclair has it. Marler's pushing on. Buchanan's there. Danny Care's trying to steer the ship. Yard comes in to offer whatever weight he can, as does Jamie Roberts, and this is looking mighty hard to stop, and no one will stop it. And Quins have their first try of the season just before half-time, and the unlikeliest of scorers from the driven line out, Marlon Yard.
I think Jordan Crane might be in a bit of trouble here.
If this player speaks like that again, he will leave the field. Understand?
Referees have been told that any kind of back chat this season, the player's gone. They don't have to put up with it. They don't want to put up with it, and nearly cost Jordan Crane. Here's the try.
Clifford actually sets a little bit high, can't get the ball down low, but they don't panic. The ball now has to be transferred. You can't go past the man with the ball like you could. New law amendment. The referee very careful as Marlon Yard comes in. And I think Evans came in as well to tell them, don't go past the ball. It's Roberts there, don't go past the ball. You see him coming in, and they just transfer the ball to the back. And Marlon Yard scoring the tries that he likes to score the best at the back of them all. You're 100% right.
It's just a 5 points.
So Austin's right. I think what it's done with all the training they've done with it over the summer, the other thing it does is it improves the communication, because you have to be telling the guy, right, pass it back to me, and you know where everyone is.
Right, time's up, into the red zone. Harlequins have the ball and they still have hope. And a try that might pull them even closer. One last big effort at the end of this first half for Bristol.
That's what's Quins!
You just see the transfer of the ball taking a long time.
Yard skips through, that's what he does best of all, and this is Marchant, and Harlequins have got 2 tries in the space of 60 seconds. It's going to be checked, but Bristol have unravelled right at the end of a half when they've done so well.
It's this pass. Marlon Yard's hands, what do they do? Not the best of angles there.
I think it's a tough one. It looks like it could potentially be forward.
Yeah, so Kitty,
grounding's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the grounding they're looking at rather than the
You got me back now, mate, yeah?
whether or not it was a forward pass.
Just
think
pass
that's
was
fine.
okay from that angle.
Nick, just wait, mate.
Just a reminder that if you slide into the base of the post, that's a try. Luke Pearce wasn't convinced it was a forward pass, and the biggest smile on the face of Joe Marchant. Well, what a turnaround at the end of that first half. Bristol with the first 2 tries, Tom Varndale and Tusi Pisi, but then Marlon Yard and Joe Marchant have made a game of it. Put Quins ahead as they head off for the half-time Oranges. Care. Don't look at the bounce over the top.
Hold, 4!
Cleared away by Bristol fullback Jack Wallace. Still in play. Varndale, the best of passes, and Cliff with the remedial work. Smart hands, and Lamb, and then Fisher finally releasing on this right-hand side Ryan Edwards, and he'll chase his own kick, and Visser was aware, and the ball's got loose, and I think they've scored. I think Ryan Edwards has scored, and that will be reward for perseverance.
Cast iron for me, the grounding.
Any reason? Lauren, any reason I kind of want to try this?
Visser almost gets there, but for me, he loses the race.
The only mitigation Quins could have is potentially a push in the back to Visser, but it's a try, isn't it?
Okay, Luke, you may award the try.
Do you think, well, 3 tries after 42 minutes?
How about the conversion from Peace? He just slices across the post, so they will settle for 5 points, but they will settle for 5 points.
It's a really scrappy passage of play. Eventually, though, some lovely hands from Bristol just to get it out in the wide channel. A kick and hope, really. Knew he was drifting towards the touchline, but he chases his own kick. Deals with Visser trying to block him out of it.
Familiar routine to get the rhythm and to draw Harlequins to within a point. Approaching the hour mark here at Twickenham. Harlequins 18, Bristol 19.
No!
There's a little bit of a scramble on the floor between Jay Marler and Chris Brooker, who used to be mates, but temporarily.
Quins, use it!
Harlequins have spent 40% of the second half in this area in Bristol's 22. It's been a lot of hard defensive work for Bristol, and they've conceded a penalty. Brooker and Marler will still be exchanging birthday cards.
I know.
For the lead, with a little over 15 minutes to go.
Big 5 minutes now for Bristol.
Hold.
Evans on a blustery, wet southwest London day. Guarded in by Jack Wallace. This is Tusi who really has impressed on his debut. He's had precious little time running game plays because of the hand injury. It looks like a very clever signing as Quins try and disrupt things. Mosses. Ball to Hurrell, and Hurrell can reintroduce us to his nifty footwork.
Tackle only.
Crane. Bristol attempted tackle of Ward. Another penalty conceded. Frustration etched on the face of Andy Robinson.
16! Outside!
Rob Shaw. There's Robinson. Involved immediately, and then Brooker got his paws to it and flicks it back, and this is Lamb, and this is opening up, and this is Peacey. It really is opening up. Varndale herring after it. Oh, he's got the toe on Yard, but couldn't gather the ball as it started to die, but it really opened up there for Bristol.
Well, we're talking about the pace of Varndale and Yard. It's Chisholm coming across that saves the day, because I think Varndale might have just won this race, gets a bit of a head start.
Time off.
Little bit of an attempted offload, the hand comes in, and then the eyes go up, sees the space in behind, but look at the work from in the defensive line, marking the kicker, Ross Chisholm, to get across to Varndale. Saves the day for his club.
See if it goes over first. No, retake.
Tom Varndale, who was a little bit quick off the mark.
It's not a conversion.
And it'll be retaken. The point being made by Luke Pearce that it's a penalty, not a conversion. So
Charge it down.
Varndale's just got to stand and watch.
We can have another go.
It's understandable, it is his first season playing rugby.
And the ball went pretty much where it went the first time.
Varndale will tell everyone tomorrow on the bus on the way home this evening as well. That's what he meant to do, that's why he did it.
Back into the arms of Chris Brooker. Now Williams. This is Mosses. Ball down by Wallace. Is there to be one late glorious effort from Bristol, or have Harlequins done enough just to squeeze out the win? It looks like they've won it back.
Yeah, Dixon looked up straight away at the clock, knows he needs another phase possibly, just to pick and go around the corner, mustn't go off their feet.
No, 20!
Well, Andy Robinson's talked about eking out bonus points
20,
whenever they can,
20.
even if they lose, and they're going to get a losing bonus point from this Bristol. For 35 minutes in that first half, they looked very much at home back in the Premiership. However, Harlequins are wily old Premiership birds, and they reintroduce them to the realities of English rugby's top flight. Quins get home, not by much, they get home. Bristol, though, go back with plenty of Premiership plaudits, although they've been beaten today at Twickenham. Harlequins the winners, 21 points to 19.